Time for another trip to the comic shop to see what's creepy on the shelves. Remember, this isn't a set of reviews, just a list of what you'll find when you hit the comic shops this week in Comics Horror, September 13th, 2023. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Let's check out This Week in Comics Horror, September 13th, 2023. This Week in Indie Horror brings a whole gaggle of good ones, beginning with a new #1 from Zenescope, focusing on their new Lovecraft storyline called NECRONOMICON by Joe Brusha, Ralph Tedesco, and Dave Francini. 3 swell guys I know and love. Faust's Tim Vigil joins Frank Forte and Edu Menna with Vampire Tales NOSFERATU Special #1, which of course promises lots of fangy fun. Revisionist History gets devilish with Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer #1 from Whatnot Publishing, David Crownson, and Courtland Ellis. Cullen Bunn teams with Piotr Kowalski and Titan Comics to bring a world full of monsters with Bloodborne, the Bleak Dominion #1. Dynamite Entertainment's Gargoyles #9 continues where the cartoon left off with the series creators Greg Weisman and George Kambadais. The latest issue of House of Slaughter comes out from the usual crew of Tynion, Johns, Dell, and Katanichi. This 17th issue continues the story of the armless monster hunter called Bait. And I'm really looking forward to the new serial killer comic called Killmore by Scott Bryan Wilson and Max Fuchs that has the killers banding together, and in order to keep those after them at bay, they begin to kill more. This one promises some gruesome serial killer action. This Week in Image Comics has a trio of terrors on the racks. Joshua Williamson completes the first chapter of his tale of a haunted theme park in Dark Ride, #8. Rick has a chance to be a sheriff again in the latest chapter of The Walking Dead Deluxe. #70, like all of the deluxe issues, is in full bloody color and brought to you by Kirkman and Adlard, per usual. And the second volume of Creepshow is coming from Skybound, and I'm excited because the first issue has Garth Ennis, Phil Hester, and Becky Cloonan on it, and that's an awesome lineup of talent. Marvel steps up their horror game this week with 4 new books oozing with spooky themes. Spine-tingling Spider-Man #0 collects Saladin Ahmed and Juan Ferreira's Infinity webcomic, bringing Spidey's worst nightmares to life. Ghost Rider picks up the pieces after his crossover with Wolverine last week with the usual crew of Percy and Nieto. Marvel's newest top-tier horror title, though, is The Incredible Hulk. The 4th issue promises more dark takes on the Green Goliath as he fights against Man-Thing in this issue by superstar writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and stellar artist Travel Foreman. And yippee! Jack Russell, the original Werewolf by Night, gets a one-shot this week by Derek Landry and Fran Galan. Looks like Elsa Bloodstone is along for the ride in this one. So what about DC? Now that Night Terrors is over, have they blown their horror load? Well, there's one title that looks promising. It's a DC Black Label series by Raphael Grampa called Batman Gargoyle of Gotham that begins this week. It looks like the superstar artist is writing too and bringing forth a whole cadre of new dark villains to add to Batman's rogues gallery. Looks like this one's leaning heavily on horror, and I'm definitely checking it out. Well, there's a whole bunch of horror comics that are going to be on the shelves this week. Surely there's something in there you'll find worth your time and precious money. Let me know which ones look good to you down in the comments.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. step inside that we are